Good freaking lord. How long has it been since I last made a video on YouTube? Despite my absence, mainly due to my conditions such as PTSD and depression, I genuinely want to thank those who stuck around. You guys really mean a lot for something I really don't do often, which is, well, I don't often really make YouTube videos because of life stuff, really. I literally cannot believe how small the international terminal at the nearby airport is. It's so small, and I especially feel bad for those coming in from Singapore to expect something great and beautiful like the airport in Singapore, only to be greeted with disappointment. Like, you can literally see how small this terminal is just by literally me panning over it. Deadass though, no joke, there is a literal whole ass, like, greenhouse at the airport in Singapore, and it is gorgeous compared to the disappointment we have back here at home, which is funny because where I am is actually where is like the end point for the world's longest flight from Singapore, which is super cool, but I could definitely sympathize for those who expected greatness only to be seen with this. Enough of me rambling, I actually want to do a mini review of Porter, which is the airliner I took to Canada to get to Kei-Con. A lot of people from Canada recommended this cute little airliner, and I thought it'd be something different to try due to the affordability and the convenience, since they don't really serve much out of the US and only have like a few spots in a handful of airports in the US, which is great since the other two airports in my area are notorious nightmares to get to, especially if you're on a budget like me. Speaking of budgets, let's get some hot chocolate from this machine I found in the terminal. Well, I actually need caffeine somehow instead of coffee because, let's face it, this Barbie hates coffee. And I do not understand how you people can literally drink coffee without gagging from the bitterness, honestly. To be quite fair though, I actually struggled getting the coffee out of the machine, only to realize that you literally had to squeeze the cup, which, to be fair, I was terrified of doing because I did not want to burn myself, especially for a big event like Kei-Con where you dress your best and be pretty to like 200 other people who attended. Here's some footage I took of getting on the plane, since I had plenty of time to like fuck around at this tiny little terminal before taking off, as there really wasn't much at the terminal anyway. This plane was so small, so if you're like 6 foot or taller, you'll definitely struggle and your back will probably hurt from the very low ceiling. This was kind of my fault as well, since I'm 5'8" and I wanted to be cute, and on my way there and back, I just happened to be wearing some platforms I got and love just for Kei-Con. This takeoff footage I have, the plane is so small that it's not just taxiing on the runway, it's doing a whole speed run taxi by how fast it is going, just to basically catch up with other airplanes in the airport. That's how tiny this plane is. here's the moment the plane actually takes off. It's surprisingly quiet despite being run by propellers, which is super nice and it's kind of calming in a sense, but that's probably just me and an autism thing. you know, because autism. Okay, so here's the actual review. In all honesty, I had such a good experience with Porter that if I did have the money to go to Canada more often, this would be the only airliner I would ever take to Canada. Unfortunately, Kei-Con kicked my ass hard, and you'll definitely figure out why later on in the video. Speaking of money, I also have a coffee, so if you have any extra change to spare, consider getting me a coffee. The link will be in the description and right in front of you as well. First off, as I've said many times, the plane is super small. I believe it only holds up to 50 people, and there's literally no middle seat at all, so it is such a comfortable experience. This is especially good in case you have to go to the bathroom, or especially those who have to go frequently due to like certain conditions, so it's not like you're constantly shuffling as much and not causing a disturbance to the people around you, which is really awesome. Did I also mention that there is one crucial thing that I like about flying to Canada? Look right in front of you and you will absolutely be surprised to see such a thing exist in the year of our Lord 2023. So yeah, everything I put up is true. The food is free and drinks, including booze, is also free, which is basically unheard of in the many times I have traveled growing up. Personally, I do not drink booze because I am quite light, but it was tempting to try some Canadian wine. In the end though, I did get these super yummy shortbread chocolate chip cookies and some chamomile tea, which really is such a Lolita thing to do anyways. So during the last moments in the air over Lake Ontario, here's some really neat landing footage I took because 1, it's gorgeous, and 2, this trip was really special for me because growing up, I was always incredibly sheltered since I am the youngest of the 4 and my mom always worried about me going places by myself, despite being a fully grown adult who also happens to wear pretty dresses with other grown adults who also wear pretty dresses. I think she's getting better, but only time will tell. Gosh darn it, I forgot to tell you guys that Toronto has streetcars! And we don't have streetcars back at home because America doesn't care about public transportation. I need to confess something about this footage, but this streetcar footage is actually from the day before because I've got one hell of a story from the first day staying in Toronto, but I think that should be another video in the future. But anyways, let's pretend that we're going to Kei-Con because it actually started later that day. But I did do some other things like go to Old Spaghetti Factory, 10 out of 10 spaghetti by the way, and St. Lawrence Market since I had time before the swap meet. So basically, since I paid extra for VIP, this meant I get half of a table for a swap meet since anyone who pays the full price for a swap meet table gets one whole table. My swap meet neighbors were really cool actually, and the person right next to me on the right had so much stuff that their entire table literally got buried in brand. But in all fairness, I wanted to be modest and I had some jewelry and socks I wanted to get rid of that I never really wore, but at least I made my money back from being at Old Spaghetti Factory. I really looked forward to the mini swap known affectionately as I Can't Believe It's Not Blind Box, where it's a white elephant style blind box trading and swapping game, so please enjoy this footage I got from the event.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Yes?
Woo!
Okay, so how we're going to do blind box is we have a bag of numbers. There's only 21 right now. I'm pretty sure that's how many gifts there are in the center. We're going to get everybody to pick a number. Number 1 is going to pick a present out of the middle. They are not going to open that present and take it. They are going to hold on to it. Number 2 has the option of stealing number 1's present or taking a new present from the center. Number 3 has the option of stealing number 1's present or number 2's present or picking a new present from the center. Etc., etc. If your present is stolen, you can steal somebody else's present or you can take a new one from the center. The game continues until there are no more presents in the center. When there are no more presents in the center, then we open them. Does anybody have any questions? No. Okay, Nat's going to come around with numbers and everybody's going to grab one. Oh my God!
Come and play with us.
I said 18, right? 5?
I didn't have a lot of footage since it was super fun, but I did win a pair of socks, which is always a big W in my book.
10? 11? 12?
Okay, so, wow, where do I start with day 2? It was jam-packed with a lot of stuff to do, from panels, vendors, the fashion show. God, I could go on and on, because I really wish I had more footage of day 2, but honestly, I was having too much fun and being silly with hundreds of other frilly sillies. So what you see here with everyone in line was for the coordinate contest, which was super fun to be in, and everyone's coordinates were all amazing to see. There was no harsh concrete, which is such a nice relief to see, especially since in Lolitas, we tend to see concrete all the time, and it's just nice to see people just loving everyone's coordinates regardless. Here's some video clips from the fashion show I took. It's not the best angle, but I do hope it's a good view of what I got to see that day, so enjoy.
Slay.
the tea party is such a good note to end on since it was such a delicious lunch, brunch, breakfast. Honestly, I don't know. The food was amazing and the tea party is super accommodating to those with dietary restrictions. So there was also this really cool cocktail which uses butterfly pea tea, which is when an acid is involved, changes the pH of the tea and changes the color from a beautiful blue to a vibrant purple. I will show a clip of something similar since I did not have video footage of the cocktail since I did not have money. I also do want to apologize for cutting this video so short because I hate to bring really bad news, but my SD card got corrupted on my way home from Kei-Con and I got really sad. But the good news is that I was able to cover almost everything except some footage of me leaving Billy Bishop, so have some pictures instead. It's a good ending card, I admit, since the people watching this can be like, oh my god, it's me!